Are you looking to book or have an upcoming cruise on the Holland America Rotterdam?
Whether it's going to be your first time on the Rotterdam or a return sailing because you just can't get enough of this newer ship, join us as we break down our experience on a recent trip, looking at everything from food, drinks, entertainment, the thermal spa, and more.
And stick around, because later in the video, we'll share exactly how much we paid for our sailing.
If you find this video helpful, please do us a huge favor and hit like and subscribe.
Online check-in is available up until 48 hours before you sail. You can set up your profile, take care of identification requirements, link credit cards, and confirm your Wi-Fi and drink packages. Upon arrival at your terminal, porters will be ready to collect your luggage to take to your room before you go through security. After a simple security process, you'll have your photo taken for the onboard system. This photo will be linked to your room keys and help identify you when going on or off the ship. From there, it's time to board. You'll enter the midship on deck 2, where you'll have your face scanned to make sure your picture matches the one you just took minutes ago. If, for some reason, the machine doesn't recognize you or your appearance has changed drastically over 15 minutes, the staff can self-identify you with your room key or stateroom number. Now, speaking of room keys, you don't receive them until you get on the ship, and they'll be waiting for you just outside your stateroom. Once you have your card in hand, you can start ordering your favorite drinks if you have a package applied to your cruise, or you can use the card to buy drinks and other additional expenses on board. The card is essentially your credit card. You may notice a charge if you look at your credit card statement from Holland America. Don't panic, it's just a hold. And the difference between what you spent on board and what the hold is will be refunded after your cruise. Mind you, if you spend more than the initial hold, expect to see another charge. Now when you get on the ship, if your room isn't ready yet, you can still collect your cards and head to the buffet, hop into the pool, or do what we always do, explore the ship to get your bearings early before it gets crowded with all the guests.
During our stay, we slept in a veranda stateroom on deck 8. It came with a bed consisting of 2 single beds, a TV with lots of on-demand movies, and a limited selection of channels, a love seat, desk, lots of storage, a picturesque balcony that's perfect for watching sunsets, and a very nice bathroom that makes good use of the space, with a shower that always provides warm water with strong water pressure, and a mini fridge with drinks available at an additional charge. Taking drinks from here is not included in your drink packages. We had 2 phenomenal room attendants. Shout out to Wee and Juan, who were always friendly and provided excellent service. Even if you prepay your gratuities, it's a nice gesture to leave additional tips if you feel they've gone above and beyond the call of duty. If you're interested in seeing a more detailed breakdown on what you may find in your room, check out our complete cabin tour video that's live on our channel already. You can find a link to it in the comments below.
There are plenty of places to grab a beverage while on the Rotterdam. Outside the floors dedicated strictly to guest cabins, there are bars or cafes on every deck of the ship. Starting on deck 2, you'll find the Billboard Onboard and Rolling Stones Rock Room bar in the forward part of the ship. Also in this area, you can order drinks from your seat at the BB King Blues Club. In the midsection of deck 2, you'll find the Ocean Bar, and as you walk towards the aft of the ship, you'll come across the Half Moon Bar, one of the coolest spots on the ship to grab a late night concoction. On deck 3, you can always grab a drink at the casino, but our favorite spot for a pick-me-up was in the midship Grand Dutch Cafe. Here you could grab specialty coffees, lattes, and other hot beverages, along with your regular favorite cocktails and beers. Jumping up to deck 9, drinks were readily available at the Lido Market, but you could also find refreshments in the forward Lido bar right next to the pool. Word to the wise though, avoid this bar at the beginning of your cruise after you board. A lot of the cruisers head to this area to get a lay of the land and order their first drink, causing you to wait longer than you may like to receive your order. In the aft of Deck 9, you'll find an adults-only section that is home to the Sea View Bar. This bar consistently has the smallest crowds on Deck 9. We never had to wait too long for service here. The only place that was quicker was one floor up in Deck 10, forward section, the Panorama Bar. It's kind of hidden, tucked away in the corner, and not as many people gravitated toward it. I think the longest I waited there was 2 minutes before placing an order. Most bars have unique cocktails that match their theming. For example, the Half Moon Bar had Prohibition-themed drinks and menus, while BB King's had blues-themed cocktails. The beer selection was vast, with lots of options available like Heineken, Corona, Red Stripe, and since it's Holland America, Hoegaarden, among others. Now when it comes to quality, I kind of felt like the cocktails were sometimes lacking. Quality was really based on a case-by-case, bartender-by-bartender experience. One tip for when you're on board, every time you order, they'll take your room key to scan. When they scan it, it'll be charged to your room or taken off your drink package. When they give it back, it'll be inside a folder with the receipt. Do not forget to grab your room key. We left the bar a couple of times without grabbing the cars, only to have our hearts drop the next time we went to order and we couldn't find our keys. Luckily, we retraced our steps and the bartenders were keeping them safe for us back where we actually left them.
You won't have any trouble finding places to grab a bite. The main dining room is open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and afternoon tea on deck 2 and 3. Regularly the busiest place to eat, the Lido Market on deck 9, is a buffet-style restaurant with different themed stations for you to choose from. Among the options, you'll find a salad station, a sushi station, dessert station, and more, all with someone waiting to help you. Just outside the Lido Market, you'll find the dive-in, where you could dive in to hamburgers and hot dogs. Just above the dive-in on deck 10, you'll find Manhattan Pizza and Deli. This is a popular spot, especially later at night when it's one of the only places open to grab food. Down on deck 3, you'll find one of our favorite spots, the Dutch Cafe. You'll find pastries in the morning, plus a full menu for lunch and dinner. You can also take advantage of room service, available at all hours of the day. We made use of this for breakfast whenever we had an excursion booked early in the morning. In addition to the complimentary areas, you can splurge and treat yourself to one of their specialty restaurants. Pinnacle Grill, a steakhouse restaurant on deck 2. Rudy's Sel de Mar, a seafood restaurant on deck 2. Cardinale's, an Italian restaurant on deck 9. Nami Sushi on deck 10. And Tamarin, also on deck 10. You'll find Club Orange on deck 2, which is an exclusive dining area for members. There are lots to talk about when it comes to the food. What are the highlights? Is specialty dining worth it? We'll answer all these questions and more in an upcoming video dedicated specifically to food on board the Rotterdam. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when that gets posted. Overall though, Holland America values quality and flavor, and we left satisfied more often than not during our sailing.
If you feel like taking a dip, deck 9 is the place to be. Here you'll find the Lido pool, the largest pool on the ship, accompanied by 3 hot tubs overlooking it. Surrounding the pool, you'll find plenty of cool places to sit, ranging from regular chairs to couches, to even these really cool, comfy day beds. And when I say really comfy, I mean really comfy. I fell asleep multiple times on these. The pool area has a great vibe. It also has access to a bar and a couple of quick service restaurants, but it can easily be the most crowded area on a nice day. The pool fills up quickly, and the hot tubs are kinda small. If you're looking for a more laid-back, kid-free swimming experience, head to the other side of the ship and enjoy the Sun View Pool. This is an adults-only area and boasts a slightly smaller pool and 2 hot tubs. Up on deck 12, there is a private pay-to-access area called The Retreat. Here, you can rent out cabanas for the day, but you can also find some additional hot tubs here. Every time I passed by, these tubs were empty. So if you prefer a less communal experience, looking into The Retreat may be worthwhile for you.
No matter if it's a quick cruise or an extended stay on board, you'll always find something to do that'll keep you entertained. You'll be delivered the daily itinerary, providing you a rundown of all the different varied activities that'll keep you busy. You can also find this itinerary on the Holland America Navigator app. Some of our highlights while on board the ship included line dancing, afternoon tea, and trivia. We went to at least 1 round a day, and we were constantly humbled by results. We really had no business being in 60s music trivia. We guessed the Beatles or the Supremes for everything. At least we got 2 answers right. In addition to the activities put on by the entertainment crew, you could also find a games room on deck 12. There's a large selection of board and card games to choose from. and it's open late, so if you feel like a midnight session of Connect 4, go wild. On Deck 2, you'll find the library, where you can browse and borrow from a large selection of books. You'll also find the New York Times crossword puzzle in here daily. If you're feeling active on Deck 11, you'll find a running track, a place to play shuffleboard, and a basketball court. If you're looking for a place to work out, head to Deck 9, where you'll find a full fitness center. You'll be treated to one of the best views on the ship when running on these treadmills. If you're feeling lucky, you can also spend time on the onboard casino. We didn't spend too much time here. It had the strongest smell of cigarette smoke on board, so we avoided it as much as we possibly could. There is a photo studio on board, plus pop-up photo shoots most evenings. Now, sometimes you need a break from the kids. You can check out the Kids Club that's open to children 3 to 17.
At night, cruisers gather at the World Theater, located in the forward section of Deck 2 and 3. Heading into our stay, we heard that Holland America puts on some truly spectacular shows on the Rotterdam at the World Theater, but we were left disappointed by the options. Over a 6-night cruise, we had 2 comedians, a mentalist, a history lecture on the history of the Rotterdam, and 2 performances from the same all-men's singing group. Now, the shows were entertaining. I was surprisingly impressed with the history of the Rotterdam presentation, but the performances lacked production value. If what's happening on the main stage isn't appetizing to you, there are plenty of other places to hang out later at night. The BB King Blues Bars had the BB King All-Stars perform most nights. They're electric from the moment they hit the stage, which is why you'll find this area constantly crowded. The Rolling Stones Rock Room also boasts great nightly performances, with the Billboard Onboard featuring piano renditions of some of the greatest hits from the past 6 decades. If you're not feeling music, head back up to the Lido pool on Deck 9. Most nights they have movies by the pool, where you can lounge around, enjoy some popcorn, and catch a flick on the big screen.
If you want to get pampered aboard your cruise, look no further than the Greenhouse Salon Spa, offering everything from massages to manicures, pedicures, haircuts, and more. But the real highlight for us was the thermal suite. Available to access at an additional fee, this suite offers breathtaking views in heated lounge chairs, horizontal showers, multiple saunas, and buckets filled with cold water to dump on your heads after leaving one of their warm, oh so relaxing saunas. The highlight of the thermal suite is the hydro pool, a large warm circular pool that soothes your muscles. It's such a relaxing experience just sitting in it, but if you really want to massage those muscles, you could swim to the middle and let the water pressure from the in-pool shower rain down on you. It cost us $49 per person for a day pass, and we felt it was well worth our money. Alternatively, you can invest in a cruise pass that gives you access to a suite every day of your vacation.
Feeling spendy? Of course, you could drop tens of thousands of dollars in the art gallery on Deck 1, or during one of the numerous art auctions throughout your sailing. Or you could drop some cash in the more traditional onboard shops found in the midship area of Decks 2 and 3. On Deck 2, you'll find a luxury jewelry, watch, perfume, and makeup store. On Deck 3, you can shop clothing, luxury bags, more jewelry, and some more of your traditional souvenirs like models of the ship, stuffed animals, and Christmas ornaments. You can also grab some snacks to bring back to your room here, but you'll be paying a lot more for Pringles here than if you bought them at a local grocery store. If you want some snacks for your room, our tip is plan ahead, pack them in your bag before you actually board the ship on embarkation day. It'll save you a whole lot of money.
You'll find a shore excursion desk on Deck 12. Here you can browse, book, and get updates on your upcoming excursions. In all the ports we stopped at, there was a wide variety of excursions offered, with clear instructions provided to you on where and when to meet up to start your adventure. If you're going to a port where you need to be tendered to land, you'll meet at the theater, where they'll give you directions on when it's time for your group to depart. In the event your excursion is canceled, you'll be refunded the cost to your onboard account. If you don't bother booking another excursion, you'll receive a refund to your credit card after your cruise is finished. You can also book excursions directly through the Holland America Navigator app.
Speaking of the Navigator app, make sure you download this on your phone before boarding. It's a great resource for you. Not only is it easy to use and intuitive, but it's also updated daily with information on the onboard itinerary, shows, and food options. You can use this app to build your own personal schedule, selecting the activities you're interested in going to. Navigator will also push out reminders to your phone 15 minutes before the start of the events you selected, so you don't miss out. You can even use the app to order food from Manhattan Pizza and Deli or the Dive-In Burger Bar for pickup, which is a really smart thing to do, especially if you're going to movies by the pool late at night, as Manhattan Pizza typically has long lines. Skip the lines, order your pizza on the app. There's nothing better than a late night Bronx pizza. Just delicious.
As the cruise gets ready to end, the disembarkation process begins. The night before, you'll be invited to put up bags for pickup, and you'll be given your time and section for leaving the ship. Holland America has the process down. It was smooth, orderly, and if you listen to their instructions, you'll have no problem getting off the boat and on your way to your next destination. You can choose not to check your bag and you'll be able to walk off early. But if you did leave your bag out overnight, don't leave before your section is called. You may be waiting around for a long time before you can claim your bag and leave.
Would you sail on the Holland America Rotterdam again?
100%. Our room was just fabulous. The food was amazing. The staff were oh so perfect. It was just an all-around really good trip.
I would have to agree. We went on this cruise as a couple's cruise. It was our first time going without our daughter, and we had a great time. Lots of good food. Now, I don't think that our daughter would have enjoyed it as much as some of the other cruises that we've gone on, where there's more water slides and kids' activities. There is a kids' club, but I feel like she might have been a little bit more bored on this ship than she would have been on some other cruise lines. For us as a couple, though, great time. Would definitely go on the Rotterdam again. And I look forward to the next time we get to visit the Grand Dutch Cafe. The bitten balls they had there.
They were so good. So good. And now for how much we paid.
For a 6-day cruise that stopped in Belize, Costa Maya, and Cozumel, with the Have It All package that included drinks, prepaid gratuities, plus excursion and specialty dining credits, we paid $3,600 Canadian, which is roughly $2,631 American.
Holland America Rotterdam gives you a large, comfortable, and lively experience. While not as action-packed as other cruise lines, you'll find plenty to do throughout your stay on the ship.
While some of the theater shows could use some extra production value, and it may not be the most kid-friendly ship without any water slides or other attractions, we never found ourselves bored while on board.
We hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more upcoming videos from our vacation on the Rotterdam.
And while you're here, check out the video that's on the screen.